So that's where it ends.
Behind this,
Where the border wall ends
this is where they walk through.
And that's Mexico.
That's Mexico right there.
is where the nightmare begins for Jerry Schuster.
One after the other at the time and just walk alongside of the fence and out in America.
Many of the migrants then set up camp here in San Diego County, in Schuster's backyard. We find trash, tents, and fires fueled by Schuster's trees.
They chop them up and they put them on the fire.
We find other landowners along California's southern border equally frustrated. 5 miles west of Schuster's property, we plan to meet Brian Silvas.
Hola. ¿De dónde son?
But before he gets there,
De Honduras. Pretty simple cross over into the U.S. And like that family, it's not that hard. They just step in and they're here.
the group hurries on as Silvas arrives.
This is pretty much the edge.
What do you want on your property?
Not my property, the United States. I don't want them to come in illegally. Why do they got to come all the way? Why do they got to come here? Why don't we post up Border Patrol right here, all right here, and just say, nope, you guys ain't coming in.
But that doesn't happen. And what if you were...
Come on, you've seen whatever on over there, what's going on.
Over there is less than half a mile away. We find Customs and Border Protection agents leading small groups of migrants to CBP vans.
You're gonna be okay?
And medical volunteers doing what they can.
We did see some COVID down in one of the other areas we
I
stopped.
hear cops as we're
Everybody.
talking.
I was not aware that there was this many people out here until this morning.
Helping to feed them, Sam Schultz. He's turned this nearby youth center into his makeshift kitchen.
I cannot abide as a Christian to see people hungry and thirsty. Now, I can understand why people are angry about these people coming across, because it is a very strange and unusual and technically and completely illegal.
That doesn't stop Schultz from helping. We follow him to his next stop and find a crowd so big that Border Patrol needs buses. For years, migrants who crossed illegally would run from law enforcement, terrified to be caught. Here we watch them run to them, eager to be processed, knowing they'll be released in a few days to await court dates that could be years away. It all seems so orderly. They're given a tag for their carry-on, line up to show their documents, which are then scanned using an app. The men handcuffed to each other before boarding. After what can be several days in CBP custody, the migrants are then bussed north into San Diego. Each day, several hundred are released at this makeshift logistics hub funded by San Diego County. It's here nonprofits help coordinate travel to other cities.
But now our San Diego County tax dollars, that should be going to issues that we have here in San Diego County, are going to migrant and immigration issues, which should be managed and handled by the federal government.
A senior CBP official tells me that they work to ensure releases are done in a safe location and that they give the migrants essential support. The strain on local resources, one of many challenges. As I find out, communication is another. Spanish and English, no longer enough.
Kazakhstan? Uzbekistan? Turkey? Wow. Uzbekistan? China.
The government should do something to stop this illegal immigration. Stop it, because they don't help us. They're destroying us.
Schuster and his wife Maria say they support lawful immigration.
You're from where originally?
Yugoslavia.
From Yugoslavia.
Yes.
And Maria?
I'm from Mexico.
Title 42, a public health measure invoked during the pandemic, used to allow authorities to turn away migrants at the border. But that expired in May, and the Schusters tell me in the last 6 months, the surge of migrants onto their property has become unbearable.
You're not allowed to tell them to get off your
No,
property?
I cannot move them. I cannot
Who
tell
told
them
you that?
that Border Patrol and sheriffs.
A senior CBP official tells me that stopping people from entering private property or arresting people for trespassing, that's a local law enforcement responsibility. So I asked the San Diego County Sheriff's Department about that, and they told me that the migrants would likely just be cited and released a short distance away, and this would scatter asylum seekers and further complicate CBP's response efforts.
The Border Patrol agents, I know that they didn't sign up to be Uber, because that's all they are right now is Uber. I understand, hey, this country was built on immigration. I'm fine with that, but not like this. This is ridiculous.
Silva suggests we stay through the night and see for ourselves. So we do. We capture this from a camera we set up in another part of Silvas's property. Look at this massive group crossing and see the headlights on the Mexican side? Likely a smuggler who dropped them off. As the sun comes up, we find Schuster already awake, looking onto his yard as yet another bus is being loaded up.
When you look at that, what goes through your mind?
Well, I think this needs to stop. It's just not good for our country at all. This needs to really stop.
David Culver, CNN, San Diego, California.